Hi guys, Danny here again. We are going to be doing the windshield washer pump replacement today. So, to start, as you can see, I've already got the wheel removed on the driver's side, at least on US spec vehicles. Again, I don't know if this is specific to an 07, or it would be 06 and 07 I guess, or if it's across all the W203s. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to take your wheel off. Car jacked up in the air. I'm going to throw a jack stand under this thing in a second here, because even though I'm not going to be working under the car, it's just a good practice to be in. And should your Harbor Freight jack over there give out, it's a lot easier to just have a jack stand and be safe than it is to try and get the car off of the ground. So I'm going to do that in a minute here, and then after that I'm going to remove this one bolt here, another one here, another one here. This one's missing. So you might have 4, I only have 3. And then I'm going to pull this plastic tab off, and that will reveal the bottom of our washer reservoir. And I have a nice Febby pump from FCPEuro sitting inside the car that I'm going to replace it with. It's super easy, should only take a few minutes. Good signs and indicators of the fact that you need to replace your pump is obviously my windshield sprayers, I guess you could call them, aren't spraying anything right now. On a wiring diagram for this car, it shows that there is no fuse for them. They are driven off of the body harness or whatever it may be. Either way, they get power straight from the car, so it's not just a case of a blown fuse. Additionally, it's not the sprayers, because when I turn the car on and I have someone stand next to it and I try and spray, there's zero noise of anything trying to pump or actuate. Therefore, I'm assuming the pump itself is bad. So I'm going to be replacing that. I'll show you guys how to do it, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so I've got my 3 or 4, if you're anyone with a half put together car, bolts out, and then right in there you can actually see the pump itself. It's looking pretty nasty, so I have a good feeling that that's going to be the issue. One other thing to mention, in addition to those 3 bolts, there are 2 pop fasteners underneath. So you're going to take a flathead or a pry bar, not a pry bar, a plastic trim pry tool. You're going to pop those loose, and then the whole assembly should allow a little bit more access for you to get your hands in there. So we're going to unplug this top connector right here, which looks like it just slides right off. Then we are going to disconnect the nipple at the bottom. Just taking a peek. Oh yeah, that's pretty crunchy in there. And then it should pull straight out. It's probably going to leak a lot of fluid if you have any in there. Mine looks like it might not. So I will check back in with you in a minute. Okay, we have our original pump off, and as you can see, we're still getting a good deal of the washer fluid pouring out. So I'm going to let that drain. I'm just going to keep the harness out of the way because there are some wires. That does reassure me that it's not like my reservoir is cracked or anything, though, considering the sheer volume of water in there. So I'm going to let this, or not water, cleaning solution. I'm going to let this drain for as long as it needs to and burp its way out. And then I'll mop up this little residue in there because I couldn't get my pop tabs out. So I'm doing it without detaching this liner fully. But then I will take this lovely new pump right here, toss it in. You can see it's much nicer than the old one, and hopefully that works. Okay, so new pump is in, plugged in, connected the hose at the bottom, popped it back into the reservoir. I have a little bit of fluid in there just to make sure that it would hold, and it doesn't seem to be leaking. There's still a lot of little gross stuff in there because your hoses that go to the pump can get clogged up, especially when fluid is sitting in there. And since mine haven't been working, my sprayers haven't been working since I bought the car probably 5-6 months ago, it's definitely gotten nasty in those hoses, so a lot of gross stuff came out, but that's good. We like purging the lines.